Rintaro is a young man who's been rejected 100 times before even starting high school. This winter, he longs for a girlfriend to enjoy the season with. So, he visits a shrine and prays, "I want a girlfriend," and the god of love declares, "You will meet 100 soulmates." However, those who meet their soulmate must fall deeply in love and live happily ever after, or they will both die. But Rintaro's love is unwavering. He vows to love all his soulmates with all his heart and bring them happiness. Sometime later, Rintaro has amassed an impressive harem, filled with girls of all personalities. He even wins over one of his girlfriend's mothers. Season 2, Episode 1, begins with Hagari gathering all of Rintaro's girlfriends on the rooftop for an important meeting. Apparently, couples in love tend to get bored after 3 months, and since Season 1 aired over a year ago, the harem is incredibly worried. Hikari understands how much everyone wants to stay with Rintaro, so she asks Kasuri to create a potion that will allow everyone to be reborn as a new person to overcome the boredom phase in love. However, Kasuri's potion fails, causing a massive explosion on the rooftop, prompting Rintaro to rush up and check on his girlfriends. He discovers that his harem has swapped souls. The side effect blurs their personalities and causes their behavior to become erratic, with their souls flying around, so much that Rintaro can't tell who is who. The cunning Hikari realizes she's in someone else's body and can do whatever she wants. She takes over Nano's body and runs to Rintaro, sniffing him creepily, making Rintaro realize it's Hikari. Meanwhile, Kasuri, the one responsible for this mess, is now in Hikari's body. The person in Kasuri's body is Hikari's mother. She's overjoyed to be 10 years younger. That Tsundere Karain is acting childish in Hikari's older sister's body, and the shy Shizuka is in Karain's Tsundere body, a complete contrast to her usual personality. The cool-headed Nano is now in Shizuka's body. Although Rintaro recognizes everyone, he doesn't know how to return them to normal. According to a tabloid, two people just need to bump heads to swap back. They try it, only to end up with matching forehead bumps. Hikari believes that in situations like this, a prince's kiss is necessary. Immediately, she lunges at Rintaro, making him blush furiously. She then gives Rintaro a kiss, sending him to Cloud 9. Kusuri realizes that because they just swapped souls, their souls are unstable, leading to out-of-body experiences. So, everyone needs to take this opportunity to quickly kiss Rintaro and return to their own bodies. Rintaro, still dazed from Hikari's kiss, is then kissed by Nano, who is in Shizuka's body, gives him another kiss. Kasuri, taking advantage of being in Hikari's body, acts cute and kisses Rintaro, infuriating Hikari. It's Shizuka's turn in Karain's body, and Rintaro feels flustered because she's usually a blushing Tsundere, but is now incredibly cute. Next is Hikari, the Tsundere version of Karain, and when Karain falls, Hikari reveals her ulterior motive. She tries to get a little more intimate with Rintaro, but he kisses her and she snaps out of it. Thanks to Rintaro's kiss, the 6 girls return to their own bodies. Rintaro is left breathless and overwhelmed. After 6 kisses, Rintaro's heart is pounding relentlessly. Having kissed each girl in their new personalities, Rintaro is relieved that the plan worked. But honestly, he prefers everyone's original personalities. This leaves his harem feeling unsatisfied with the previous kisses. So, they pin Rintaro down and give him a proper punishment. After school, Rintaro plans to have lunch with everyone on the rooftop, as usual. But Kizara forgot her lunch and has to go buy something. Rintaro is about to buy a fried egg sandwich when he accidentally bumps into a girl. Instantly, a spark ignites between them, signaling to Rintaro that she is his next soulmate. The problem is she's a middle schooler with an irritable demeanor, much like Keano. Her name is Kurumi, and she came to the high school cafeteria for a fried egg sandwich, but forgot her wallet and had to leave. So, Rintaro decides to share half of his sandwich with her, claiming he likes variety, and only wanted half anyway. But this makes Kurumi even more wary of him. She doesn't usually accept food from strangers, but her stomach is growling loudly. So, she takes the sandwich. Kurumi removes her hat, revealing headphones, looking like a true audiophile. As she eats the half sandwich Rintaro gave her, she cheers with delight. The reason Kurumi craved a fried egg sandwich so much is because she heard characters talking about it in her favorite movie, and suddenly wanted one. She has a fast metabolism, a bottomless pit for a stomach, making her constantly hungry and irritable. Whenever she's hungry, she gets grumpy and apologizes to Rintaro if she was rude. Earlier, Kurumi was so focused on food that she kept imagining eating with Yamazaki, or even the classroom blackboard. Made her crave black bean noodles. Therefore, Kurumi always wears headphones and a hat to limit outside stimuli, preventing food-related thoughts. But once she starts eating, Kurumi removes everything to fully savor the meal with both body and soul. She believes it's disrespectful to food otherwise. In short, Kurumi is a true food enthusiast. Rintaro watches her eat with fascination. Kurumi's digestion is incredibly fast, so she's hungry and irritable again almost immediately. Rintaro tries to ask for her number, but she scolds him harshly. Despite being annoyed by Rintaro, Kurumi is confused by her racing heart. The next day, her friends keep talking about Menchi Katsu sandwiches, making Kurumi's mouth water, and she decides to buy one. Unfortunately, thanks to the movie's influence, the sandwich is completely sold out. Rintaro goes to the middle school to see Kurumi, but she's in a foul mood and being difficult. Upon seeing Rintaro, he immediately realizes his future girlfriend is craving a Menchi Katsu sandwich, but the high school cafeteria is also sold out. Rintaro suggests a regular Katsu sandwich, but she refuses, saying they're completely different. Kurumi plans to go to a convenience store, but Rintaro stops her, explaining that middle schoolers aren't allowed out during lunch. "I'll go buy it for you," he offers. However, Rintaro is immediately met with Kurumi's wrath. She says he has no right to offer her help. Realizing she went too far, Kurumi leaves, but the nearby convenience stores are also sold out of the sandwich, leaving her disappointed, unable to find food, and with her stomach rumbling. Kurumi is so angry she berates herself. She wonders why she gets so irritable when hungry, lashing out at everyone around her. Even with those who are kind to her, like Rintaro, she acts the same way. Upon returning to school, she's surprised to find Rintaro waiting for her, as if nothing had happened. Rintaro then leads Kurumi to the cooking room and offers her a Menchi Katsu sandwich that he made himself, knowing Kurumi would get angry again. Rintaro quickly offers her half of the sandwich. Looking at the sandwich, Kurumi's face turns as red as a tomato. To eat it, she has to compliment it. Due to lack of time and ingredients, Rintaro fried the meat in the cafeteria and then put it between bread and vegetables, creating a homemade Menchi Katsu sandwich. Being his first time, Rintaro lacked experience, resulting in oil splattering everywhere, requiring him to be covered in bandages. Seeing Rintaro still being nice to her after her rude behavior, Kurumi can't help but wonder why. Rintaro explains that he feels Kurumi is someone who truly appreciates food. That's what he finds adorable about her. And food, when enjoyed by people like Kurumi, becomes incredibly delicious. This positive trait of Kurumi brings joy to everyone, and Rintaro is one of them. Rintaro's sweet words completely win Kurumi over. Blushing deeply, she asks Rintaro to be her boyfriend. Rintaro is happy to share a meal with her, but she wants him to call her Kurumika. But then her tsundere personality emerges, and she forbids Rintaro from calling her Kurumi-chan because it reminds her of Chankonabe, Hot Pot. Afterwards, Rintaro introduces his new girlfriend to his harem, leaving them both speechless and jealous. Upon meeting the harem, Kurumi declares that she won't befriend anyone other than Rintaro, making Nano feel that girls bonding with each other is pointless, is unnecessary. This leaves the others feeling incredibly dejected. The six of them have been through so much together. Nano means that being together shouldn't be out of obligation, but out of genuine affection, moving everyone to tears. Rintaro then suggests a location for their date, an eating contest held at the end of the week. Kurumi confidently declares, "I can win this by myself." However, the contest is for junior high students and younger, requiring participants to have a guardian present. Unfortunately, Kurumi's parents are busy that day, so she asks Kizara Hari to be her guardian. Kizara, however, wants Kurumi to call her mom. Today's episode marks the opening day of the food festival. The competition is a team-based event. There are 5 rounds in total, and the team with the most accumulated points wins. For some inexplicable reason, the organizers display an image of a scantily clad woman to explain the rules. This makes Kayane uncomfortable. due to the inappropriate display. For Rintaro, this competition is a chance for Kurumi to socialize and make friends. In the qualifying round, the dish is plain rice. Other foods are allowed, but they don't count towards the score. In short, whoever eats the most rice wins. Kurumi believes she can compete in both the qualifiers and the finals and win without any help. This annoys Kayane. Meanwhile, Rintaro has to play peacemaker between the two girls. Rintaro desperately wants his harem to get along, but it's not looking good, so he decides to join the competition too. Round 1. Rice eating. Kurumi can't focus though, as she keeps staring at the other food. Therefore, Rintaro decides to get her some of the other dishes. After all, she has a bottomless stomach. Seeing Rintaro's team using other foods so early, the surrounding contestants start mocking them. This almost makes Rintaro pick a fight. Hattori quickly stops him, but she then uses the opportunity to goad the other contestants. They realize that using other food might help them eat more rice, so they rush to get some. But Kurumi has a bottomless pit for a stomach, so the extra food doesn't affect her at all. The other contestants think they've found a loophole, but they'll soon lose to Kurumi. Despite his inner monologue, Rintaro keeps eating diligently, keeping pace with the others, though the rice is the same for everyone. For Rintaro, each bowl tastes different depending on who's served. Even while competing in a massive rice-eating contest, Rintaro still finds time to flirt with the girls, leaving his harem standing outside, blushing furiously, fueled by the power of love. Rintaro devoured the food, passing the preliminaries in a flash. However, his team only managed to rank third. The second-place team was Godzilla, consisting of 5 incredibly strong women. But the team that took first place had only one member, the strongman Chanho, the current world champion eater, with a physique that dwarfed Rintaro's entire team combined. In the second round, the contestants had to eat bubble tea. Rintaro wanted to continue competing, but he had reached his limit after the first round. Kurumi, as cool as ever, declared she could handle it all herself. After a brief strategy session, Shizuka decided to participate in this round. The second round officially began, and Kurumi immediately encountered a problem. Chewing so many boba pearls made her jaw ache. Not only Kurumi's team, but Godzilla also faced the same issue. Chanho was in the lead because he just swallowed everything whole. However, Shizuka was chewing the boba with gusto because she had a small mouth, requiring her to chew more than the average person. In other words, having a small mouth made Shizuka look adorable, but that was irrelevant to the competition. The third round was a speed eating contest. 10 pieces of sushi. Nano would be competing. Kurumi preferred to savor her food, so she would be at a disadvantage in a speed contest. However, Nano used a trick to cover for Kurumi as well. In this way, Nano was neck and neck with Chanho. But by the last piece, Nano couldn't eat anymore. Her stomach had reached its limit. If Nano didn't finish the last piece quickly, Godzilla would catch up and take second place. So, Nano decided to take a risk, running to a life-threateningly high place. Because she was terrified of heights, Nano was facing her greatest fear, and she managed to eat the final sushi. The sight of Nano devouring the sushi was impressive, like a princess atop a castle. After Nano finished her sushi, she couldn't get down, so Rintaro had to carry his little wife back. The third challenge was super spicy tofu. The two best spice eaters, Kurosaki and Kayane, joined Kurumi for this round. This extreme spiciness could defeat even a sumo wrestler. But Kayane and Kurosaki ate it like it was nothing. Unfortunately, their shining moment was cut by the producers, leaving Kayane feeling both literally and figuratively burned. The fourth round was a dessert eating contest, so the sweet tooths, Hagari and Hattori, stepped up. But the Hagari mother-daughter duo seemed weaker than the other teams. So, the sly Hagari used a psychological tactic. Eating sweets makes you gain weight, making Team Godzilla worry. But it also scared Hagari herself. And on second thought, she didn't want to gain weight either. Seeing her team losing their fighting spirit, Kayane shouted, "It's just fat. It'll get burned off eventually." The mother and daughter were energized, eating with renewed vigor, and they earned a precious point for Rintaro's family. He praised his wives for their skill, leaving Team Godzilla wondering how such small girls could eat so much. Rintaro and his harem explained, "It's the power of love." This surprised Kurumi. Finally, the final round. Rintaro and the others couldn't join Kurumi because they had a meeting The final challenge was a ramen eating contest, and Rintaro placed all his hopes on Kuromi. Even the final round, Kuromi and Chenko ate like ravenous beasts. Meanwhile, the leader of the strong women reached her limit, but she was determined to finish. Moved by her spirit, her teammates joined her. 5 ambulances were called. They reached their 80th bowl, but their expressions remained unchanged. Of course, Chenko was cheating, worse than just cheating. Half of Chenko's face was carefully made up to conceal a tube leading to a hidden container. He respected Kuromi, but with this trick he feared no one. They devoured over 28 bowls of ramen. Kuromi stopped full. Chenko mocked her. Kuromi didn't even try to pace herself. She was doomed from the start. Kuromi knew this better than anyone. While everyone was giving their all for the team, she wanted to do everything herself, leaving her teammates to carry her through all 5 rounds. Kuromi regretted not listening to Rintaro and letting others handle the earlier rounds. If she had, she could be enjoying this delicious ramen now. Suddenly, Rintaro and the girls asked for more bowls, surprising Kuromi after how she treated them. But Rintaro's harem didn't mind. They were above holding grudges against a kid. Just kidding. Thanks to Kuromi, they had faced challenges together and made it this far. Rintaro encouraged her. You've always fought alongside us, and that's the power of love. Normally, Kuromi would have made a fuss, but now, fueled by the power of love, she picked up her chopsticks again. Chenko's container was full, so he decided to use his own stomach to battle Rintaro's family. Both teams collapsed with a tie, but Kuromi and Chenko crawled towards the ramen for one last stand. With one chopstick left and time running out, Rintaro asked Kuromi to feed him. They unintentionally force-fed Chenko some PDA, making him vomit. Normally, Rintaro would have thrown up too, but he couldn't vomit something Kuromi fed him, not even if he died trying. Rintaro's family won. Besides the prize money, they got premium ice cream. Kuromi apologized for her mistake. Everyone responded by offering her bites of their ice cream. Later, Kuromi thanked Rintaro privately for bringing her closer to everyone. During the final round, Rintaro promised Kuromi anything she wanted, but she just gave him a free dose of PDA. But she should have at least blushed after the kiss.